Morning, everybody. This morning I'd like to talk about blade storage. We go through a lot of saw blades, and it's always nice to have a place to, keep them so they're not getting their teeth banged around or staying sharp. Now these are the ones I just resharpened with my little jig you saw in the previous video. And this is real simple. It's not aesthetically appealing, and it doesn't really need to be, not for my purposes anyway. But I got to make one to store my dull blades on, so I thought I'd walk you through that. We're going to do it in real time so you guys can see how easy this really is. And then maybe you'll feel like making one for yourself. First of all, you're going to need a scrap piece of plywood. I just got a 5/16 bolt that I pulled out of my little junk drawer, a wing nut, and a lock washer and a regular nut. Now, first of all, just to do the layout, I like to cut a little piece on the bottom so mine can just sit up straight like a so, instead of having to hang them or lay them on a wall. So I cut a 2.5-inch base. There's my 2.5-inch mark, and then I'm going to lay this thing out. So it's just above the 2.5-inch mark, and put a little center hole right there, and then I want a handle. So, I'm going to get real fancy with you guys here. I want my handle to go right here, and maybe I'll have enough room to stick my hand between it, like so. And then I want a little cut there, round that off and round that off. So I'm going to pause the camera when I'm switching between tooling, but otherwise there will be no other effects. So here we go. First of all, I start by making my hole, and I just use a corresponding bit to work for my hardware. Alright, come over here to the table saw, and I want to set my saw to 2.5 inches for my first cut. So, the idea of doing this in real time is so you all see how easy this is. Make sure this guy's recording. Yep. Okay. Now over here to the bandsaw. Not plugged in. Okay. Now that we're plugged in, now I'm just going to put the base on. A little dab of glue. Pin it in place. Now the glue is enough to hold it in place if you want to leave it like that, but I'm impatient. So I'm going to throw a couple screws in there so I don't have to wait for it to dry. Maybe. Install our little bolt here to hold things in place. Now, if you're if you're set up and you're not messing with the camera, I'd be willing to bet you could build one of these in about 4 minutes. Well, I got a place where I can store my dull blades, and now you always want to put a wood spacer in between each blade, and that keeps the teeth separated so they're not beating up on each other. And if you got some spare pieces, I just use a piece of 1/4 inch or 1/8 inch, whatever I've got, and I'll drill a corresponding hole the right dimension. And I'll just leave those spacers on there, so when I stack my other blades on it, I've got a place to store my dull blades now. That easy, guys. Dull. Just like me. Thanks for watching.